Hey friends, welcome to Man vs Machine. The T20 series is done and India have won. All this is happening on a Saturday evening, so we know the happiest person in the Indian camp right now is of course Ravi Shastri, because all the more reasons to party. And yes, party is what Virat Kohli and his men deserve to do right now, because despite having lost the toss 4 times, they ended up winning the series 3-2. All these matches, they are happening in Mahatma Gandhi's Gujarat, but attack was the policy for Virat Kohli and his men. Virat opened the series with Rohit Sharma, and what a time to be alive as a cricket fan. Of course, I'm hoping to see many more partnerships between the two of them. So to talk about today's match and to find out who won our game, that is Man vs Machine, I invite our cricket expert all the way from London, Jarrod Kimber.
Hey mate, how are ya?
Hey, I'm doing well, Jarrod, and congratulations to you because you have done really well today. And what happened? You were waiting for the series, series results to be declared so that you can play without any pressure, or what was it? Because you won the last game, you won today also.
I think maybe I'm just good at dead rubbers, or perhaps I just get better as I can read the conditions as the series goes on.
Or maybe you are good at high scoring games.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, exactly. You finally got your high-scoring game. I hope you're happy.
So, what about the game today? What do you think?
I thought it was. For about 30 overs, it looked like every batsman could do whatever they wanted, smash the ball as far as possible, and then I thought India just started bowling really well, and England just let them get on top. And by the time they woke up, it was game over.
And yeah, I did feel they shouldn't have let them allowed India to get back on top, because even in the last over, Chris Jordan and maybe even Sam Curran, they were playing really well. So it would have been a little closer had they not let India run away with the game in, I think, somewhere around 16th or 17th over.
Yeah, there was a really important little space where I think England went about 15 balls where they didn't get more than a single. They got a couple of runs from wide, some leg byes, but there were dot balls and singles for about 15 balls. And then just after that, Butler went out. And not long after that, they lost a couple of wickets. So I don't think India ever had a period like that where it got in the middle of their innings. They just kept going. They kept attacking. And sometimes that's just the difference, really. England just let the chase get a little bit further away from them than they should have. And I really did think India bowled brilliantly, and their tactics were quite good as well.
The toss didn't play much of a part right now, because Virat Kohli lost the toss 4 times, and Owen Morgan obviously lost it only once. But players like Virat obviously make their own luck, and I think that's what he did today, right? I mean, I think he just played the English cricket team really well. He said that I'm going to open the innings, and they must have been like, all this while you were sending KL Rahul, who was out of touch, and he was scoring 0-1, and last time he got 15 runs, and suddenly this time it's Virat Kohli and Rohit. What the hell do we do?
I suppose the interesting thing really is if you look at that particular innings, that Virat had a very slow strike rate. In fact, him and Milan both played the anchor role. If you look at them compared to the rest of the game, they were by far of the guys who scored over 20 runs, they were by far the slowest, realistically, weren't they? But I think the difference is that Virat had people attacking constantly at the other end. And there was a little period where Milan didn't have that, and Virat never had the period where all the wickets fell. So, Milan suddenly had to play that big innings. But I think Milan played a better innings for a long time than Virat did. The difference was that Virat just had, incredible batting at the other end to go. It's a weird role, that sort of anchor role. I mean, if Virat had got out for like 15 runs, we'd all be sitting here cursing him. And instead, he has a very high score, but not so much a high strike rate for this particular game. So it's a really weird role where sometimes you always win as an anchor and sometimes you always lose as an anchor. It's very different than, say, Hardik Pandya's role, where you just say, go in there, son, and slap the ball around a little.
So, Jarrod, moving on to the questions now. I think you have done really well today, just like David Milan. And I think we'll start with the first question. And also, people who have participated in our contest, please listen to the answers carefully, because we already have a winner, and which we will be announcing after we reveal 5 answers. And the first question was, Jordan or Adil Rashid, who will score more fantasy points? And Criclytics said Jordan. And Jarrod, You said Adil Rashid. So this round goes to you.
Yeah, I think been looking at Jordan's numbers a lot of recent times. I thought he'd go for a lot at the death. I didn't think he'd go for 1 for 57 from 4 overs, to be fair. But I think Adil Rashid's actually been bowling quite well all series. He just hasn't gone for. He just hasn't taken as many wickets as perhaps you would think he would. But I think he's bowled really well, and I backed him, and he came good in this game. And luckily for me, Chris Jordan had an absolute shocker, other than his catch, of course, which was another world.
Okay, the second question again, Stokes or Pandya, and I think this was as I think we had thought it was pretty close. Because I think Stokes, he was batting really well. Maybe with someone else at his side, he could have got few more runs. But the correct answer for this one was Pandya. I think Jarrod, again, this round goes to you.
Yeah, I went with Pandya because I thought he'd be one of India's five bowlers. And weirdly, they brought in a sixth bowler for this particular game. But because they didn't seem to back Washington Sundar, which is an interesting thing because I thought I thought he had one poor over and they sort of yanked him out of the attack. But Pandya bowled really well, and they finally did what I wanted with the batting. I've been saying all along that I think he struggles when he has to start against 90-mile-an-hour bowlers, but they got him in a little bit earlier. He knocked the ball around, and then he was set when he got to face the 90-mile-an-hour bowlers. I thought he batted really, really well. So Stokes was fine too. I don't think Stokes had a poor game. In fact, I think Stokes bowled. There aren't that many bowlers in this game that came away with their head held high. Stokes might have been one of them. So. But yeah, I think Pandya just got him there. In that situation, had I known all the information of going ahead of how much they would both be used, I'm not sure I would have picked Pandya, but I got away with that one.
But I think speaking of bowling, I think one bowler who has not featured in I think any of our answers so far, but he's been bowling really well was Shardul Thakur, right? I mean, he has been winning games for India. I think the last game also he picked a couple of wickets. This time also he picked a couple of wickets. I don't know where he gets that from. Even in Australia, I think one of the innings he bowled really well when it was not expected from him.
I think he's very good at bowling. He can bowl off cutters or leg cutters, which means that when the ball gets old, he can move the ball a little bit away from either batsman. And that is a not many bowlers can bowl both. Most bowlers can bowl one or the other, which means if he's bowling to left-handers, he can whip the ball away in one direction, and if he's bowling to right-handers, he can go the other way. It's a really, really good skill to have, to be fair, and it's clearly working for him so far.
So question number 3 is Rohit Sharma or Johnny Bairstow, and I think Criclytics was a clear winner over here. It was Rohit Sharma, and obviously I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, he opened the batting. That was always going to be a risky one for me. I just thought Bairstow would get a bit of a go, but to be honest, by the time he came in, he had to score quite quickly. So there was never even a contest on that one. Thinking back, I probably should have taken Sharma, but I had no idea it was going to be this high scoring a game, and that really high scoring games generally help the opening batsman a lot.
Okay, moving on to the fourth question. I think Jarrod, you won this at the toss, right? The question is KL Rahul or Owen Morgan, who will score more runs?
Yeah, this was quite a risky one for me because I thought that KL Rahul would probably get one more chance, and Morgan obviously bats so deep down the order, you're not even sure if he's going to get in. But I figured that he would get. I just thought that KL Rahul looked a bit shot by the end of it. So that's obviously why they dropped him. So yeah, that was probably a bit of a lucky one there for me.
Even though we don't need the fifth tiebreaker question because you have already won this 3-1, but because our viewers had participated in this contest, and that's why we'll have to answer that. And again, it's a landslide victory for you here because Criclytics, their prediction for captain and vice captain was KL Rahul and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as vice captain. Even though Bhuvaneshwar Kumar did pretty well as a vice captain because he bowled really well today. I mean, how good was he on a batting track where everyone is just hitting really well, and that English attack. I think to have those figures, he did brilliantly.
I've been saying all series how brilliantly he's been bowling, and this is the first game where it kind of all came together for him. But yeah, I mean, obviously, when it comes down to it, I think I went with Butler and Kohli in my last game.
Yes,
captain and vice captain, and they did nothing. And neither of them did anything. In this game, I went for the same, and they both absolutely blitzed it. So big game for me. But yeah, it's a 50-50 chance with the captain and vice captain, isn't it? Especially in T20 cricket.
Yeah, because in one of my teams, I had Jason Roy as the captain.
One of your teams. How many teams do you have?
No, I listen to both of you, and then I form one team where I listen only to myself. So, Jared, now it's time to announce our winner, and the winner is Babulal Kumawat. And the best part is he has.
Hey, well done.
Yes, Babulal wins a goodie bag, and the best part is he has
Goodie
answered
bag.
all the 5 questions correctly. Okay,
Oh, well done.
so
That's quite. That's is that the first 5-0 person we've had? I don't think anyone
yes,
else has got
yes,
five
yes,
and
yes,
zeros.
yes, yes. Neither
Oh, look, I don't want
Criclytics
to
nor
tell.
Jared.
Yeah, I don't want to tell cricket.com what to do, but I think that should be a bigger goodie bag.
So, Jared, again, thanks. It's always a pleasure. I think we have completed the T20 series and it was amazing. You lost the series 3-2 to Criclytics, but I think after you lost the series, you did really well. And wish you all the luck for your future predictions.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks for watching the video. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do that immediately. Immediately hit that subscribe button. Please do not waste any more time. And I'm sure if you have watched so far, you already like the video. So make sure that you hit that like button too and share this video with all your friends. If you do not like it, make sure that you share this video with all your enemies and find a new hobby, because you should, I think, go out and play. Anyways, download the cricket.com app, use the Criclytics feature and build a fantastic fantasy team. See you next time. Bye bye.